Oh wait, where's the... Oh, I don't know where the crab claw is. Hello! Today we make crab cake! Cake of crab! No birthday cake! No candles! Not happy! Call it crab cake! It's good! Crab comes in can! Pasteurized. We need to open the can with the can opener. Unlike mini cans, this one needs to be refrigerated. This is that cheap Chinese crab. That's how you know it's good. You can see some crab here. Keep your lid on and push it down. We're gonna try to strain the juice. This is kind of gross. If you need, you can use your fist for more leverage. I got crab juice on my arm. Put that in a bowl. Oh, that was pretty clean. I'm mincing some parsley. Now, you can omit the parsley from this recipe if you like. I believe that we're including it to give it the illusion that we flavored this dish with herbs. But not a whole lot of flavor in parsley, so it's just the illusion. Probably like a couple tablespoons. Now we need some breadcrumbs. I'm using store-bought breadcrumbs today. Smell like saltine crackers. We're gonna add just a little bit, probably like 2 tablespoons. It's good. Some salt, some pepper. Now I'm gonna use my hand to mix it up. When you're mixing it up, you see this is lump crab, so there's like small lumps of crab. You don't want to break it up too much, but it's better enjoyed this way. So we'll develop a binder to hold this together. And really what we're doing here, these are like the principles of making patties out of things other than beef. I don't like binders in my beef, but we're gonna put a binder in that to hold it together to make a cake, a Krabby Patty. Yes. Okay. So we're gonna add an egg, a couple of tablespoons of mayonnaise, and then more seasoning. I'm gonna add some ground mustard, not too much. Add some Old Bay. There's Old Bay. It's basically celery salt and paprika and spices. It literally says spices right there. There's like a certain subsect of people who live in the northeast of America, and if you eat a crab and don't put an Old Bay on it, they feel it right here in their chest arteries. So I'm gonna add a little bit of that. We're gonna mix that up. Look how viscous and sticky that looks. That's what we want. So pour that over your crab, and you want to err on the side of too little at first, because one of the least good things in life is a crab cake that's like so juicy that you're like, am I eating mayonnaise held together by crab? Because that's not what you want. So again, you could use a spoon. I'm used to doing this by hand. Incorporate, which means mix, okay? And if you want to make sure that you're doing it right, just lightly squeeze, and if it sticks together, you did it. Nice job, everybody. All right, let's make some crab cakes. There's like 16 ounces of crab. That's part of a kilo for you metric people. Less than 1/2 kilo. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make 4. So, I don't really know. You can do these as loosely as you like. Typically you'll see them in a restaurant, like kind of about that size, but they like patty it and then they run their finger around the outside, kind of like that. And you see it's still pretty loose, but it holds together. We're gonna put that on some plastic wrap and we're gonna let these set. So we're gonna fold our plastic wrap like so. And you do have the option to actually form the patty in the plastic wrap. I don't really like doing that because it doesn't form as well. I think this might be time for another Phil does tedious things, but not in real time. Alright, so I made 5 of varying sizes because I started too small and I got tired and I made them bigger. So these are like 3 or 4 ounces each. We're gonna let them sit in the fridge for about an hour and then we'll pick it up from there. Not a lot of room in my fridge. In the meantime, let's make some remoulade, which I'm sure is not at all the French pronunciation. You know what? F French. If you make... Yeah, f my eye. What the f? Okay. If you make a crab cake, you gotta have a sauce for it because crab's actually not that interesting tasting, apparently. Or actually just food is generally better with the sauce. Or if you don't serve things with a sauce, someone might say, need sauce. So, for our crab cakes today, we're gonna prepare a remoulade, which I think that's how you say it. It's not like rim your lord. Or rim your lad, which that doesn't sound right. Rim your lad. I got a food hack for you guys. We haven't like had a legitimate food hack in a while. This one is useful. We don't even have to test it. I know that it's good. If you are an idiot and you suffer from short-term memory loss for unexplained reasons and you can't remember a recipe, line up your ingredients so you don't forget. Here they are standing in a row. I won't forget anything. Remoulade sauce is an aioli or mayonnaise based sauce. You have something to say, Iggy? So, it's an aioli or mayonnaise based sauce. We're gonna use just really like an inappropriate amount of mayonnaise. I mean, there comes a time where you like, it comes out of the bottle and after that like 10th squeeze you're like, well, I guess this is my life now. A pile of white jiggly stuff. And he's got the nice popping sounds there. Great! I'm gonna take a break to feed my dogs so they shut the f up. Iggy, are you hungry? Do you want your dinner? Sneezed on myself. This sauce is one of those sauces that's just a combination of all these other condiments. It's kind of like a Bloody Mary where you just put a lot of shit in a thing and at the end you're like, I guess it tastes good. We're gonna add some lemon juice. It's one of those thick rind lemons. You didn't get that much juice for your buck. Shitty. It's probably industrial mayo. Ain't nothing gonna curdle that. Some hot sauce. This is Tabasco. I'm using the rest of the bottle, which was more than I thought it was. I'm gonna use some whole grain mustard. Whole grain mustard's cool. It's like partially ground up. It smells spicy. So we want a couple spoons of that. And you can tweak this to your personal tastes. I'm just hoping that all of these flavors become some other flavor, like you do. Some garlic. We're using the lazy kind. A spoonful of that. Now you need something pickly. Pickly, like pickles. You could chop pickles. You could use pickle juice. You could use relish. You could use capers. You could use your mom's feet. Ew. I'm contaminating all these things. It's relish. Relish! Relish the experience of scooping out the relish. And we got our Lee and Perrin's, what's this here sauce? Some Paprika? A little cayenne. Salt. Not too much because you put some salty things in. And a pepper. And hopefully this becomes some kind of meaningful sauce. You need to be careful as you just be careful. And you know, just generally be careful in your life. Because you never know what's gonna happen. You might lose your shirt in the laundry. And then you don't have a shirt. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? I think mine has a little bit more lemon than I'm used to. A little more Tabasco than I'm used to, but it's good. Now you need to let this sit out for an hour. I know you don't like letting things sit out if you're a person who's worried about that kind of thing, which I am not. But you need the flavors to incorporate. You could put it in the fridge, but it'll take longer. So let's just put it in the sun to bake. And by the time that our crab cakes are done setting, that'll be good to go too. It's been a series of minutes that add up to an hour. So 60 seconds of the minute time. The crab cake's ready to go, and actually also is our remoulade, which does actually taste better. It's like I usually don't buy that stuff where they're like just let it sit a while and it tastes better. But I did this time. It actually makes more sense. Here's our crab cakes. And I'm gonna fry them in coconut oil. This will give them a nice little hint of coconut flavor, which I think will be pleasant. So I got a little pan here. We'll just do this over medium-ish heat, maybe a little bit above. Let's check out the cakes. You can see it's set up pretty well. That's good. Seems pretty cohesive. A handy tool to have for times like this is a fish spatula. Coconut oil melted here. It also just smells really nice. It's got that going for it. I haven't put them in the pan. You need to be careful. We'll lightly press down to make sure we got full contact. I think the heat might be a little too high because the oil's jumping around a bit, making me nervous. And we're gonna fry them on each side for about 5 minutes or so. Hopefully, turn the heat down to medium. And if they're not done at that point, we might put a lid on it, let the steam finish it off. We'll see. So, I think my oil was a little too high. So we're almost definitely gonna steam it. You can see it's starting to split a little bit. You have to be super careful when we flip over. You just gotta be fast. Like this. And you see that's like a little bit burnt, but it's forgivable because I'm cooking for myself. I can forgive myself. Not a whole lot of burning. It's really, that's just like little bits of parsley. That's not the worst. Not the worst thing ever. So from here, we're gonna turn it pretty low. I'm gonna put that lid on it. So the steam will finish them up. And hopefully they don't burn. Because you know, sometimes you start something one way and you don't know what you're doing, which is actually how every episode of the show goes. And then you just gotta make changes on the fly, and then you hope for the best. And that's how you live a successful life. You're welcome. And if you got extra Krabby Patties that you didn't cook, put them in the fridge. Otherwise you'll have a moldy crab. Our attention was drawn to the pan because there's some bubbling. That means the steam's working. So the steam's releasing water into the oil. Well, when water and oil mix, they pop. And if there's large enough quantities or enough heat, they'll explode. So be mindful of that in your life. I'm gonna get the plating ready. And this is something you can do ahead. I got some arugula here. Arugula always is kind of junky, so just watch out for shitty looking arugula. So we just want a little bit of arugula. This will really up your presentation. We're gonna put the Krabby Patty on top of that. And you got two choices for remoulade, right? You could put it in a little cup, a ramekin, or you can do the schmear, which is nice as well. I'm just gonna schmear them. So you put the sauce, and you take a spoon. Looks nice. Iggy, what are you doing in here? Iggy, 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 Iggy. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Oh, oh. All right, let's see if we're done. One way to tell is if you're not afraid of burning yourself, you can push on the top. You can see that it kind of pushes back. It's firm. It means we cooked it pretty well. Nice job, us. I think they're done. So let's plate them up. I'm amazed that I didn't catastrophically f this up somehow. Just had to make changes on the go. 1 Krabby Patty, 2 Krabby Patty, and you can say I'm a cheating bastard for using pre-made Pico, but we're just gonna use some of that. So put a little garnish right on top. You take your spoon and use your fingers to hold it together, like so. And if you really wanted to, you could add just a tiny bit of remoulade on top. I don't like to do that because then you're saying like to someone that they have to eat the sauce. Not everyone likes sauce. I recommend using a small fork to eat daintily, like the civilized and well-mannered person that you aren't. I'm gonna try just the crab, just so you know it's cooked. So to me, that's just how I like crab cakes, because it tastes like crab and not any other bullshit. There's like crab, some other flavors going on, but you still know it's crab, and it's not like milky, so that's good. Let's try some with the sauce. That's delicious because the sauce is delicious. And everything together, crab, pico, arugula, sauce, delightful. Honestly, I don't eat this kind of food that often. I live in the Midwest, so it's like Chinese crab, or that's about it. But if you want to be fancy, you want to impress people, make them a crab cake. It's easy if you try. We do that, I do that all the time. As if something was like going to happen. It's like the expectation of something funny, or a witty saying, or the end of the show.